welcome back to the Scoreboard. Before we head into week 1 of the NFL season, which we are doing this week, we have bold predictions. And if you didn't miss the last episode, we picked all of our division champions and our NFL Honors Award winners. We didn't have the time to do bold predictions at the end of that one, so we still are delivering them now in a separate video. The predictions for week 1 are coming up right away with this one as well. So starting the season with a doubleheader here. Bold predictions always very, very important. I don't know. We haven't been keeping track of how many of those, if any, we ever gotten right. But Smokey, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. I don't really have anybody that I'm better than because I kind of blew the load with the Cardinals already on the other video. And really not much has changed except for the Cardinals did announce that, or it seemed to be kind of vague, but like they're planning on starting Josh Dobbs instead of Clayton Tune, which is not going to make much of a difference. I mean, unless Josh Dobbs has some kind of Geno Smith season or something, the Cardinals are still going to be bad. So I am still better than the Cardinals, but that is implied, yes.
That's just maybe just a general running theme this year. We'll see. Go ahead, go into it too quickly, but we'll see. We'll give them a fair chance. But we have some bold predictions for this one, and we should start keeping track of them. In fact, if we have time at some point, we just sit down, pick up our bold predictions from the previous years, and see if any of them came true.
Oh, we absolutely could.
There was this one time I picked like a head coach to get fired before week 8, and I believe that happened, right? It was Bill O'Brien and Adam Gase or something.
Yeah, it may have been Adam Gase actually, or something
like that.
Yeah. Huh. I do remember you making that prediction. I think it was Adam Gase.
Might have been because I just said any coach.
Yeah.
Any head coach makes it easier.
Oh yeah.
But I'll let you go first with your first bold prediction.
All right, I will start with
we're sorting these? At least that's how I did. I sorted them from least bold to most bold.
Yeah,
Same
absolutely. Absolutely. Perfect. That's exactly what I was planning on doing here. So this will actually be my 4th most bold, I guess you would say. And this has to do with your 49ers. And it is the fact... Well, I guess it's a prediction, so it's not really a fact. But Sam Darnold will be firmly planted as the QB1 for the 49ers by the season's end, and Brock Purdy will be the backup.
Wow. Okay. I have a question. Okay, does it mean carrying into the next season he'll be firmly planted? Because that means not only does Purdy have to get hurt or be really bad, but also Darnold has to be really, really good for them to not look for another quarterback in the offseason.
Well, see, I'm assuming with this prediction that Purdy is going to be injured at some point during the season because every 49ers quarterback gets injured. That's just a fact of life. But I know how Shanahan loves to go with the incumbent. Seniority rules, apparently, for Shanahan. And it reminds me so much of Kirby Smart. We've talked about that before. He does the exact same thing. If the guy is there, it's going to take a miracle for him to be replaced unless he has an injury. So I'm assuming at some point Brock Purdy is going to get this injury. Sam Darnold will take over, and Sam Darnold is completely capable of upholding the Shanahan system because it seems like almost anyone you throw in there will. Sam Darnold actually, he's not a terrible quarterback. I think Sam Darnold is a much better quarterback than some of the quarterbacks who have actually played really well in Shanahan's system. So therefore, I think he will be better than Brock Purdy. And when Brock Purdy comes back later in the season, Darnold will be playing too good to be replaced at that point.
I think with Darnold you have probably the most talented quarterback in terms of arm talent since probably Colin Kaepernick with the Niners. And we're not really counting Trey Lance because he's kind of he's played so little football, you can't really tell anything. Of course, he was extremely talented as well. But just the mental side of things didn't really develop as much, and he had the injury scare. So I do not love the pick just because I don't want Brock Purdy to be out again because I think he's legitimately very, very good. But I'm confident in our backup at least. So I know that we probably have the best backup in the league, and that is very important if your quarterback tends to get hurt a lot. And that has derailed the 49ers season. once and almost twice in the last 5 years. And basically, when the quarterback doesn't get hurt, they at least make the championship game. And like in the last 5 years, that's always been the case. And only when the quarterback is out and there's no replacement, that's when they struggle. So having a capable backup, very important. My fourth boldest prediction, and I don't know if this is less bold or more bold than yours. I have the Pittsburgh Steelers winning 10 plus games this year.
Wow, I like it, actually. I like it because I think I have them somewhere around that also.
Oh, yeah. In a division with the Bengals, with the Ravens, Burrow, Lamar Jackson. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, Deshaun Watson, we don't know what if he's ever getting back to, what we thought he was on the field, but that's you would think a strong division. And Kenny Pickett, a lot of people would rank him the worst quarterback going into this season, or the least experienced quarterback in that division. So the Steelers can do it. Of course, Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season, so kind of 8 wins are sort of guaranteed. But yeah, I think they win 10 plus and probably make the playoffs.
Yeah, I picked them to win the division, so I'm totally expecting the Steelers to make the playoffs there. And I think Kenny Pickett is going to develop. I don't think he's going to be, Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes or anything, but I think he's going to be completely serviceable. He'll be, above the Kirk Cousins line as it is now, or the Derek Carr line, whatever that line
Derek
is.
Carr is the best. Derek Carr is the perfect fit for this. I've had some months to think about this, and Derek Carr is the perfect fit for that.
Probably
line.
so, because it kind of resembles the Andy Dalton thing of years past, so... Yeah, Kirk Cousins. I mean, not Kirk Cousins, but Derek Carr. The Derek Carr line. And I think Pickett will be well over that line, by the end of the season. So, I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that. Your second pick.
Yeah, and this one is getting a little more bold. It was kind of almost predicted like this last season, but we saw that it fell through. So, not too many people will be on this bold take this season. But it is that five teams from the 2 Western divisions will make the playoffs at the end of the season. Five
Western division teams.
Yes, I know a lot of people were picking at least 3 from the AFC last season, and of course that did not play out that way. But I am picking 5 teams overall from the 2 Western divisions.
Okay, I am willing to bet a substantial amount of energy drinks against that, if you're willing to. Actually, and here's why. Because the Cardinals and the Rams, forget about it. That means the AFC West has to show 3 teams. Yeah. Chiefs, Chargers, yeah. Niners, yes. Seahawks, very likely.
Yes.
Who's that 15? I'm not giving it to the Raiders. I'm not giving it to the Broncos. The AFC, look at the AFC East. You have 4 potential playoff contenders. 2 teams are going to make it, maybe 3. AFC South, okay, that's Jaguars territory all the way. But then AFC North, we just talked about it. You have the Bengals, who you'd expect to make the playoffs. The Ravens, you'd expect to make the playoffs. Lamar's healthy, and then the underdog Steelers. Yeah. The AFC West, I think the Chargers are going to fight for a playoff spot as the second seed in the AFC West.
Yeah.
And the Rams and the Cardinals sure aren't going to make it. Yeah. Or at least I don't think they will.
I think the Rams and the Cardinals are the ones left out here. I do think the 49ers and the Seahawks make it. I think the Chargers and the Chiefs make it. But I think the Broncos are going to be much improved. Russell Wilson going into the second season under Sean Payton, which I know it's been a rocky start so far, especially with Sean Payton's mouth and him popping off about Nathaniel Hackett, and he really expecting that he was just going to walk in there and change this team around into a Super Bowl contender instantly, which it doesn't seem to have happened that way, but I do think this team gets better. I saw Russell Wilson at the very end of the season making strides, and who knows what Jimmy G is going to be. Like, that's a possibility, too. Jimmy G is a winner. He's a proven winner, right? I've never had a ton of faith on him just being a superstar, but he wins somehow, so I think it's very possible.
I feel like this would be my second boldest prediction if I had to make it. This is very bold to me.
Yeah.
Let's play the scenario, okay?
Yeah.
Let's just assume, okay, let's say the Bills win the East, let's say the Bengals win the North, we just go status quo, Jaguars win the South, and the Chiefs win the West, right?
Yeah.
Then you get 3 wildcard teams. Mm-hmm. If you're going Chargers and you're going Broncos, or even Broncos or the Raiders, that means you're saying that out of the Jets, Dolphins, Ravens, and Steelers, only one team can make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. That's bold.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's bold to me.
But it seems like almost every season, one division does that.
Yeah. I think the AFC East is primed for it, right? I could almost predict the AFC East to make 3 playoff teams. Yeah. And that wouldn't be that bold at all.
I'm not going to deny they look great. I mean, you can
for
see...
the West, for sure.
I could even see the Browns making a step toward the playoffs. But...
Browns?
I
don't know.
I'm sorry, did you say the East or the North?
No, I said the East.
Oh, okay.
The AFC East.
I'm thinking the North because I could see all 4 of those teams making the playoffs. The East too. I mean, you think about the Bills,
Bills, Jets.
Yeah, Jets because of Aaron Rodgers. The Dolphins because
Dolphins
of
are great. If Tua's healthy, they're gonna win.
Maybe not the Patriots.
Maybe not, but yeah, I never know.
It's still Bill Belichick. Yeah.
It's still Belichick, and it's still Mac Jones, who's fine. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's tough to, but that's a bold pick. I'll give you this. This is a very, very bold prediction.
Yeah.
All right, getting into my second one. This one is bold in 2 separate ways. Actually, bold in the sense that it's unlikely to happen, and also bold in the sense that I want it to happen because I want to rub it in your face if it does happen. Mm-hmm. And it's that Stetson Bennett will play at least 200 relevant regular season snaps for the Rams.
Wow.
That means non-garbage time. With the game undecided, Stetson Bennett will see significant playing time this year.
So we're assuming that Matt Stafford is not completely healthy at this time, or he will be re-injured easily, huh?
Probably. Yeah, like he's gonna miss some time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And even if not, maybe they'll just like say the Rams are like 2-8, right? Which is possible. I don't think they will be if Stafford's healthy, but let's say they go 2-8 because just the bottom fell out, right? And you sign Stafford to kind of this like short-term deal because of course you're in win now mode. Now you're definitely not. Say like it's week 10, you're 2-8. You trade Aaron Donald because you don't have any hope anyway. Might as well look for the future, right? Yeah. Might as well give it a try. What's Matthew Stafford going to do other than get himself hurt? Like in the last few weeks, nothing, right?
Tell him to sit. Yeah. Well, I mean, you would think that with all those years in Detroit where they were just wasting him away. And not playing for anything. But he played. He would play into the end. I think he has that heart. Stafford wants to play if it's at all possible. If he can get medically cleared to play, he wants to play. But, yeah, I could see Stetson coming in. And, I mean, I definitely could see Stafford getting hurt again. That's obvious. And Stetson, now here's the question. You said about 10 games or so. If Stetson plays the last 7 games, how many does he win?
I would need the schedule for that, actually. I'll you know what? I'm gonna look at the Rams' schedule right now, and I'll answer that question for you live. How many does he win?
Yeah, that's fun.
I assume at least two or three of those are going to be in divisions. So let's see. We're assuming he plays the last 7.
He beats the Cardinals. Yeah. He beats the Cardinals, obviously, if they do play in the last 7, which they really should.
So yeah. They have bye week 10, so they play Arizona, that's a win. They play Cleveland, close. Baltimore, probably losing. Washington, close, could win. New Orleans, close, could win it. Giants, that's a loss, and Niners, that's a loss. But yeah, he can win half those games. He can win 3, 4.
Yeah, 3 to 4 wins. Now, is that enough if Stafford decides to retire that they don't draft a first round quarterback next season?
I honestly, I don't know what they're gonna do. They're like cap wise, they're in such a situation where like they're not going to build up another team quick enough for like to catch the end of Matt Stafford's prime. And then I don't know if Stetson's really good. Maybe like you build around him and you kind of maybe you can carry your team for a year or two. He's not necessarily that kind of guy though.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's a tough spot. I don't know what they're going to do.
Stetson's problem has always been interceptions. He gets kind of antsy and nervous. And we've seen that if you have a good coach like Todd Monken, a good OC, that can calm this guy down and keep him focused, he can be phenomenal. He can be great. I mean, he's a little undersized for the NFL, of course, but he's extremely mobile. I mean, I don't remember his 40 time, and I know it was probably not the fastest QB at the combine, but he is really quick and deceptively quick. So, I don't know, maybe he's their guy in the end. The other question, though, is if they have another losing season, like a horrible season like last year, is Sean McVay's job safe?
I don't know. It's also hard to say because like this was planned from the start, right? They were gonna sell out for a few good seasons, and then they knew this was gonna happen. Like the cap situation they put themselves in. They traded Jared Goff for Matthew Stafford. They knew it was a short-term fix. You got a couple of seasons, and then you're going to be rebuilding. I don't know. Maybe that was all planned. Maybe they're going to give him a second shot to rebuild it again, or maybe he just wants to retire anyway. Who knows? I can't say.
Yeah.
What's your next pick?
All right.
Bold predictions.
Trying to decide really which one of my top two is the most bold. You know what? I will save that one for my most bold because it involves a rookie. All right. George Pickens will be the overall number one wide receiver by the end of the season. That is extremely bold, though. Maybe I should have saved that one.
That's very bold.
I had him at the
Number
top three,
one.
and I was like, yeah, I had him in top three, and then I was like, maybe that's not bold enough, really. Because the second-year breakouts, like, happens all the time where second-year wide receivers end up. But then I think about Pickett. Kenny Pickett is not, it's not Patrick Mahomes out there, so... But yeah, I'm going to go with it. That is a really bold take.
Okay.
George Pickens
That
will
is
be
bold.
overall one by the end of the season. Last time I did this was with Juju, and it did not work out well. Same team, though.
Same team.
Yep.
That's true. Same coaching staff.
He is in the spot
Similar environment.
that Juju was in when I picked him to do it.
But Juju had was it the season where Juju had a legit wide receiver one with Antonio Brown still with him, or was it the season that Antonio Brown was gone?
No. He came on. Antonio Brown might have actually been injured. I think his first season was 2017 or 18. Yeah, and then I want to say his second season, he had a really good season alongside Antonio Brown. And then when Antonio Brown left, I picked him to be the number one overall, and then really the team just fell apart that year. That was one of their worst seasons under Big Ben.
Let's hope you're not cursing him again.
Might have actually been the Mason Rudolph year.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah. That was a rough year.
Yeah.
That's hope it goes better. That's a bold pick. My second boldest pick. Probably not quite to the level of boldness of yours, but still, I think to a lot of people, this is a shocker. I love this one because it's short and sweet. Dallas Cowboys will miss the playoffs this year. Simple as that. Because the Eagles are good, and they're probably going to win the division. And then we both have a lot of hope for the Giants. We love what Brian Daboll did, and if that trend continues, they're probably in for a 12-13 win season. Like if the same increment of improvement were to happen during the offseason, they are going to be good.
Yeah.
They're really good.
Yeah.
Bolstering the defense, they have one of the best defensive lines in the league. A lot of people don't really pay attention to. Building one of the best offensive lines in the league. It's a lot hinges on Daniel Jones, but they're paying him the big money. They believe in him. That means Brian Daboll believes in him. He thinks he can build a winning team that can have playoff success in the future around Daniel Jones, and there's no reason to doubt Brian Daboll's judgment at the moment. So, Cowboys missed the playoffs.
Yeah, I think Mark Schlereth was actually getting blasted online recently for saying something to that effect because the Cowboy fans are out there in droves, and
of course
they are quick to tell you that this is finally the year that they're going to win the Super Bowl again. I have lost faith in Dak over the past few years. I thought maybe he could make his way into one of the top tiers of quarterbacks in the NFL, but the past two seasons I've kind of lost faith in that, and I feel like he is just slightly above the Derek Carr line at this point. So I could see that. I think the Giants. I think I actually picked the Giants to win this division. So
you did, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So yep.
So it's good possibility.
Yeah.
Cowboys are third seed, and they'll not make it.
Mm-hmm.
Could happen. Maybe not that bold.
Yeah.
Still feels bold to a lot of people, though.
To the Cowboys fans, that's Super Bowl.
Yeah. Nah, of course. They couldn't imagine anything else.
Yeah. All right. You ready for my number one?
I'm ready. Yep.
All right. It is that Bijan Robinson will break the rookie rushing record, which happens to be 1,808 yards set by Eric Dickerson.
1,800?
Yes. A rookie.
That's a lot of yards.
Doing 1,808 yards.
You know, he's got a couple, like, he's on the most run-heavy team in the league. Mm-hmm. He has an extra game since Eric Dickerson played.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, all he has to do is go for like a bit over 100 per game.
Yeah.
On average, right?
Yep.
That's doable. I think it's a big task because you're asking a lot of consistency. If he has one bad game, you need a 200-yard game out of him to make up for it.
Yeah.
But it is at least feasible. I don't know how much of the load he will carry. Are they relying entirely on him, or are they going to kind of have a split backfield, sort of 70-30 distribution going on? Because Tyler Algier has been good for them.
I think, they've talked a lot.
Last few times.
They've talked a lot in the offseason about having a split backfield, or more like a 70-30, not necessarily a 50-50 or anything. And Tyler Algier was actually over 1,000-yard rusher last season, I believe. But I just see what Arthur Smith did with Derrick Henry all those years, 2,000 yards and whatnot. And this guy is supposed to be the next Saquon Barkley or Ezekiel Elliott. And I think Ezekiel Elliott was like number 2 on the list. I think he might have actually almost broke that record himself. So yeah, it's bold.
A lot of running backs come in as Pro Bowlers from day one. Mm-hmm. That's true. It's possible. I'll give you that. Of course, it has to be the homer pick, right?
Yeah,
for you.
absolutely.
Bulls pick a all, obviously.
Yeah.
I think the Pickens thing might be bolder.
Yeah, probably so. I actually had that as number 1, but then I was thinking, 1,800 yards, that's a lot. But yeah, I think the Pickens thing is more bold. I should have saved it.
Yeah. Are you ready to hear the boldest of all picks?
Yeah, what is it?
The boldest prediction of the year, by far. For the first time in NFL history, this year we will have an 0-17 team.
Oh, wow.
In the regular season.
Wow, who's the lucky team?
I'm not saying who it is. My only pick is it'll be a team. One team will do it.
You're not gonna,
I'm keeping my options open.
I'll take a
I
guess.
have two main candidates and like 1 or 2 dark horses, but two main candidates.
Yeah, you don't want to give them out?
I can tell it's the Cardinals and the Colts.
Yeah. Oh, the Colts.
That's what I'm going with. Yeah, Colts is up and one.
I was thinking the Texans, but yeah, the Colts are in the running for sure.
Texans would be second. Would be third in line. Mm-hmm. But I like D'Amico Ryans. I think he's great, and I hope he wins. So I don't want to give 17 and 0.
Yeah.
0-17. Though for roster wise, of course, like the Texans aren't looking very good. No, the Colts are my sneaky pick because we know Anthony Richardson is super boomer bust. He could be terrible for all we know. He could be great. He could win 10-12 games, but he could be terrible. He has the potential to be. Whereas like someone like Bryce Young doesn't really have the potential to be terrible. He just has the potential to be underwhelming.
Yeah.
But Richardson could be awful. And then the Colts have the sneaky potential to implode, I think, because they've been pretty bad for a while now.
Yeah.
Despite some good defensive players. But yeah, Cardinals are the front runners.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Absolutely. Followed by the Colts and the Texans, and maybe the Bucks could make a run at it also.
Bucks. I don't know, the division seems too weak. Yeah, gonna sneak one out against Saints, Falcons, Panthers here and there.
Yeah. True. But we could say the same thing about the Texans and Colts at this point also.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So maybe Arizona.
Yeah.
Arizona. I love that, by the way. It's so good. I would love to see that. Yeah, it'd be great. The worst team in the history of professional football.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it. Just keep doing what they do. Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. That is our bold predictions for the 2023 NFL season. You can let us know yours in the comments if you have to add any, or if you just want to comment on the ones that we have made, and you can let us know which one you think is the boldest one. And be sure to go watch our video from a couple of days ago, division winners and NFL honors. Every pick, we hinted at a couple of them in this one, but go watch them if you haven't done it yet. Go watch them back. And week 1 predictions coming up. Finally, it's time. Smokey, we're going to make week 1 predictions right after this one in real time. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Very hyped for sure. So drop us a like on this video, and you could just click on the next one right away. We'll see you in the next one.
Deuces.